and I'm not doing color. I don't know what happened to my, I think when I changed my screen colors to white because I have a baby blue wall, and the blue that was on the background of my computer was disappearing into, so I had to change so it's kind of bland, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. And I might try to use the pen just to see if it works. It's a long pen. This thing is like, it's almost like 6 to 8 inches, but it does a lot, so I'm not going to complain about it. All right. When we're talking about counting in this section, we're not talking about counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what we are, I just can't stand it. I'm going to go up there and play with it and see if it works. What we are talking about, let me see if this is going to work. Let me use a black pen. What we are talking about is using factorial. And using factorial is basically an exclamation mark. And factorial means that, let's just write factorial. Factorial, I got to get used to it. A little bit off, but factorial, which is a exclamation point, basically means that you're going to multiply as numbers show up in sequence. Now y'all should see that on a white screen because yeah, I know it looks kind of rough, but I'm getting used to it. Okay, so factorial means multiplying as, so I want to see if I can do this. I want to go over here and go, oh yeah. So if I want to do 5 factorial, then that's going to be 5 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now, why don't I multiply by 0? Somebody tell me why I don't multiply by 0.
Because the answer will be 0.
Exactly. So it will cancel everything out. So it's down to 1. You don't use 0 because every number factorial would be 0. So that would be 5 times, that's supposed to be 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. 60 times 2 is 120. Now, if I did 6 factorial, then that would be 6 times 5 factorial, which would be 6 times this, which would be 6 times 120, which is what? 720. And if I did 7 factorial, that would be 7 times 6 factorial, which would be 7 times 45, 0, 40. Somebody check my math. 5, 0, 40. Somebody
yes,
check
sir.
it. How do you check it?
That's
Well,
right.
take your calculator and you would type in 7, math, probability. That's you arrow over probability, and I think if somebody look, see if it's the 3rd or 4th one down.
It's the 4th.
It's the 4th one.
4th one down?
Yeah.
4th down. And then I guess hit enter.
Yeah.
And it should give you, I'm just playing on this thing. So let me ask you something. Do you like it better than using the document cam once I get it going pretty good?
I think it'll be faster.
Yeah, it'll be a whole lot. How about it lagging? Is it lagging as bad as the
No.
No, it's better.
No,
It's easier to
it's
see
better.
too.
Okay, good. Well, just give me a few days because I've got to get the calibration down. That's why my 5 is a little bit off over here. I got to get the calibration down, and I'm trying to get Tri-County to give me a 6-foot board or a 5-foot board, whiteboard, so the whiteboard will be a little bit more level, a little bit more even, and it'll be a little bit easier on this stylus. So I'm still working on that. All right, so that's factorial. Now, when do we use factorial? Well, you're going to use factorial in several types of problems, but mostly in combination and permutation. We'll get to that in just a second. You're going to see the formulas for that. I'm not going to make you do the formulas. I'm going to make you do the calculator. All right. Now we're talking about 3 or 4 problems in this unit. Okay. That's all. One is going to be with an exponent. One's going to be with a factorial. One's going to be a combination, and one's going to be a permutation. I'm going to tell you what's going to be on the test. Okay. You should ace this part of the test because technically, out of all the sections, this is the easiest sections because you can do it all on your calculator. All right, so let me hit transparency. I did get a free app out of it. I got this free app, this IPVO app. So I did get a free app out of it. The Dacom scanner was $150, and the little projector was $150. But I think it's well worth it if I ever get that whiteboard. All right, shut up, Hubert. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing. So let me hit here, PQR, multiplication rules. Okay, let's write this down. This is a standardized test question, so I want you to write it down and put it in your memory group as standardized test question. And I might throw one on the test because it's real simple. A fixed price dinner at blah, blah, blah restaurant provides the following choices. Appetizer, soup or salad, entree, blah, 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 dessert, ice cream or cheesecake. How many different meals can be ordered? Now, this is one of the questions I'm going to give you on my test, okay? And it's pretty simple. You've got 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, but no. Beef liver. Beef liver. The best place to prepare beef liver is in the trash can. I have never, ever, ever been able. I have tried at least 5 or 6 times in my lifetime to eat beef liver, and I just don't get it. I really do not get it. I don't. Kind of like smoking. I don't get that. I've tried that too, and it didn't work out very good for me. So cigars, pipe, cigarettes, I've never had. And that's 2 things that I've just never, I don't understand beef liver. Anybody out there a connoisseur of beef liver?
How did that taste?
It tastes like eating grit. It tastes like a real deep beef flavor, real almost blood-like taste. And then it's got a real gritty consistency to it.
No, thank you.
Doesn't sound appetizing.
It's not. And I've tried because I always give. I don't like to be redneck disorder. I like to try things. But I'm gonna tell you something. When it comes to smoking and eating beef liver and meatloaf, that's just about it. I can't hang. I'm sorry. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 2 up here and 2 up here. So it's going to be 2 times 4 times 2. So make sure you write that down because that's a test question. So there's 16 different meals that can be ordered. Baked potato and roast beef. A baked potato and liver. a baked potato and whatever chicken. And then you can change the baked potato to whatever the other one was. Okay, so that's one test question. And that's not factorial, that's just multiplying. I'm going to give you an exponential here with a, hopefully they'll do the license plate. Exponential, if not, I'll figure out something else. But this is called just multiplying. And there's factorial. We already talked about factorial. This is saying multiply in the sequence that it shows up. That's what that says. Okay, they're getting all this. They get the cart before the horse. I really don't want them to show permutation yet. Let's not go there yet. We'll come back. Okay, here's one. Permutations with nondistinct items. Write that formula down. Okay, we'll come back to permutations and combinations. I don't want to go over, I'm going to go over those last. The number of permutations of an object is which blah, 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 k count. This is where you get a flag question. How many different color flags or something like that? Let me go to the next problem. It's just n factorial over n sub 1 times n sub 2 factorial. You'll see with the, it's easier to see with an example. Here it is. How many different vertical arrangements are there of 10 flags if 5 are white, 3 are blue, and 2 are red? Think about the flags on a beach. You know, they put different color flags up, or a boat. I don't know. I'm not a boat person, so I don't know. But they put different flags on a flag staff, okay? And they want to know how many different combinations. Well, if they don't give you anything but just 2 or 3, you got 5 that are white, 3 are blue, and 2 are red, then that's going to be over 10 factorial. I mean, 10 factorial over 5 times 3 times 2 factorial. So write that down as an example, because that is a factorial type question that I would give you. These are pretty simple. And you do them on your calculator. So that would be 10 factorial over, and you would do 5 factorial, store it. I'll show you how to do it. In fact, let me go ahead and pull up the handy dandy calculator. Well, I'll write it down and then I'll show it to you. That's going to be 10 factorial over 5 factorial, 3 factorial, and 2 factorial. Now that's not in sequence because this problem is telling you that when you've got the different color flags, what you go 5 times 3 times 2. Different type problem. So let me go to my handy dandy calculator. And let me go to 10 factorial, and that's in the numerator. So I'm going to go 10, math, probability, move over to probability, and go down to 4. That's going to be a BA number. Okay, so we need to stow that. Where do you get bread? At the stove. So you're going to hit stow, and you're going to save that. Alpha, and numerator starts with an N, so I'm going to pick numerator, which is over the LOG, that green N right there, and hit enter. So I've just stored that in the alpha N file. So you can clear it. I'll do it again. 10, math, probability, factorial, enter, BA number, stow, alpha, log. And you've stored that in the end slot. Now I'm going to do the denominator. But I might have to do it in 3 sections because some calculators don't do parentheses and factorial very well. I'll try it. So 5 parentheses, 5 math.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
Enter. Close parentheses, times parentheses, 3 math. Enter. Close parentheses, times 2 factorial. You could actually do these in your head, but I'm showing you how to do the calculator, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So math. I'm showing you how to use stow key also. And enter. And I'm going to stow. And I'm going to call the denominator alpha d, which is alpha x to the negative 1. See that green d right there? And enter. Now to finish the problem, I'm going to take alpha log divided by alpha d, which is denominator. And write that number down, 2520. That should be your number. And that's how you use the factorial key and the factorial button in sequence, and use the parentheses and the stow button. So let's go back and see if 2520 is correct. Look there, 2520. It's a miracle. Okay, so you've had 2 type problems so far. 1 type problem is courses of the meal. Then you've got this problem, which is usually a flag question. What else you got? Well, there'll be a letter question, a word, or there'll be a license plate question. Let me go to, nope. Give me a second. That's 5, 6. So they're not going to show it. Okay, so I'm going to make one up. And then we'll go back to combination first. Combination is the first thing you go over. They got everything backwards in this. So let me go back to a clean. Give me a second, guys. How do I move forward? I'm wanting to add a page. How do I add a page? Usually I have an ad. Where's my ad? I know there's an ad on here somewhere. There we go. Down here. Let's use yellow. What do you think? You like yellow? Ooh, if I use that blue, I won't be able to see. No, I won't be able to see that. I guess we'll just go with the regular old. Let me try gray. Might not be too hard on the eyes. And black. Okay. So this is a question you'll get with Word. You'll be given a word, smile. And the question says, how many different arrangements of the word smile can you make? And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 factorial, which is equal to, I think we said it was 120. Okay, that's the type of question you would get. You'll also see that type of question on a standardized test. Now, the other question is a license plate. There's the license plate. And they want to do a letter here, a letter there, and 4 numbers here. And they say, how many different license plates can you have with 1 letter and 4 numbers? Okay, the first of all, you got to figure out how many letters. Well, there's 26 letters, and there's 1 spot. 26 to the first, because there's only 1 spot, times 10, 0 to 1, 0 to, I'm sorry, 1 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 digits, and that would be to the, how many slots? 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 4th. And you would do that in the calculator. 26 to the first is 26. So that would be 26 times, of course, that's the what? 4 zeros. 10 be 100,000. Somebody check, what is 10 to the 4th power? Should be 4 zeros. Check me. Hello?
It's 10,000.
Okay.
Yes,
10,000.
it's 10,000.
Okay. Okay, so that would be 260,000, right? $26 times 10 is 260.
Yeah, yes, sir. You're right.
So there's 2 more questions. So far, we've gone over a question about eating in a meal. We've gone over a question about a smile or word. We've gone over a question about flags, and we've gone over a question about license plates. So that's how many questions? 5? Okay, so let's get to the bread and butter now. Bread and butter is the 2 type questions that we're going to spend a lot of time on today. And that is, let me go back to transparency. And that is the combination. Now, combination, I want to get my TV hooked back up. I can't see y'all. I got to figure out a way. I'm running out of ports. I'm going to have to figure something out. I only got 1 HDMI. Anybody got any suggestions? I only got 1 HDMI. I don't think I can do anything about it. That's a conspiracy. Combination uses this nomenclature, NCR. And the formula is right there. Go ahead and write the formula down, not because you have to know it, but because you might see it on a standardized test. They may ask you, which is the formula for a combination? There it is. Okay, so if you're going to be taking an employment test or a placement test or a GRE test or a nursing certification test in the future, you might want to memorize that because they do like to put that on a standardized test. Now, let's just forget about that now, and let's go look at the calculator. Where do you find it? Well, it's under math. It's under probability. And there it is, NCR and NPR. So, how do you know where it's what? Well, I've already told you since the first week of class. What is N? N is always your what? I've told y'all since the First day of class. N is always your what number?
The total number.
It's always the biggest number. It's always the total. So N is always going to be your biggest number. So let's see if they give us an example here. Whoa, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. Well, they gave us one right here. There we go. It says, well, they went ahead and did it. Let me see if I can make it go. No. Thanks a lot. Anyway, they say, how many different random sample of size 4 can be obtained from a population whose size is 20? Okay, a simple random sample. How many groups of 4 can you put together from a group of 20? That's what it says. So we take our handy dandy calculator. N is going to be 20. That's a given. So I'm going to type in clear. I'm going to type in 20. Combination, math, probability, NCR, and 4. And enter. 4,845 different combinations of people, groups of people. Now, it's called counting because you get big numbers from some of these formulas. You're going to get big numbers. You're not going to get like 0.2. You're going to get big numbers. So how do I know when to use a combination and when to use a permutation? Well, it's real simple. A combination is right there. What does that say? Order is not what? Important.
Order is not important.
So put order and put a big X through it, a big red X through it, and say equals combination. Put lottery beside it. If you get a lottery question, which you will on my test, if you get a lottery question, it will be a combination. Because if it was permutation, nobody'd ever win. Okay? Combination. Committee members. Write down committee members. Committee members, there's no order. So let's go ahead and do a combination. Let me get out of this, and let's go to Google and go to South Carolina Education Lottery. Let's pull up that dang old Powerball. And we pull up that dang old Powerball and how to play. Oh, I hate when they change the stuff around. There we go. How to play. Where is how to play? It's somewhere on here. There it is. And I'm going to copy. I'm going to take my handy dandy snipping tool. This is how I do things in school. S-N-I-P. Take my handy dandy snipping tool, and I'm going to snip. Where'd it go? Hold on. What about my snip? There it is. New. And I'm going to pull this up. And I'm going to save that as Powerball Lottery. Save. Go to my handy dandy. Let's see if I can do it on my free software here. And hit new. Miss Billy, you feel like you're in class now?
Yeah.
Feels, ooh, how did I get graph paper? How did I do that? Oh, I must have hit. There we go. Now let's see if I can bring in a file. Dang old look there. Boy, I tell you, I'm awesome. I'm really awesome. Pictures. And there is my Powerball lottery. Y'all are impressed, aren't you? I know y'all are. Okay, I've lost my menu now. Where'd my menu go? Confirm. There we go. All right, I'm going to make it bigger so y'all can see it because y'all will moan and complain if y'all can't see it. So let me get my cursor. Okay, hold on, I messed that up. I can't make it bigger. How did I get the cursor? Okay, you're just going to have to. I can't make it bigger. Sorry. It says select 5 different numbers from 1 to 69 on the left and 1 Powerball from 1 to 26. Now it says use 1 panel for each design. Each play costs $2, 1 ticket. Now, there's 2 things I want to talk about here, and one I want to write in red. Now, I don't write in red. So if I write in red, you need to write in highlight. You need to write in red, and you need to highlight it. Because it's important. When you're dealing with a lottery question, you need to really read the question to make sure there's a question on winning. If there's a question on winning, then they are assuming that you bought a what? You bought a ticket, at least 1 ticket. Because what's all saying about a lottery? You can't win if you don't what?
If you don't play.
What? And you've got to remember this. So anything I do on this question will be 1 over, and that 1 represents that I bought a what? A ticket. Now you have to read the question very carefully, because I have wrote both publishers of the 103 book and the 120 book, and some of their questions are a little vague. They say, what is the probability? They don't say, what is the probability of winning? When it says, what is the probability of winning, they're saying that you bought a ticket. If they don't say it's the probability of winning, then it's the denominator without the 1 on top. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all do.
Yes.
So that's going to be, I've got to get the 5 Powerball of the 5 balls, and then the 1 and. What does and mean? And means what?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. That's
The
supposed to be
biggest number.
multiplication.
Oh.
That's supposed to be a multiplication symbol. It sucks pretty much. Let's see if I can use the eraser. Give me a second. Ooh, look at there. Ooh. Oh, I tell you what. And means multiplication. So that's going to be a combination here and a combination here. How many balls in the first one? Well, how many different numbers? 69. So that's going to be n. And there's 5 balls, right? 5. And then 26 or 28. It's blurry on this screen on my wall. Is that 26 or 28?
I see 26.
26.
26. combination of 1. So that's how you do a lottery question. So we're going to do it on the calculator. That first number, I'm sorry, is 69, I believe. Yeah, 69. This is how you do a lottery question. Now, what if the question said I bought 10 tickets? Then you would change the 1 to a 10. Okay, that's pretty explanatory. All right. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator. I'm going to write this down because I don't know if I can bring the calculator on top of this. So 1 over 69 combination of 5, and I got to have those numbers, and I got to have the Powerball. So that's 26 combination 1, which is 26. But now I'm going to pull up the handy dandy calculator. I've got to get used to this screen. Okay, hit that. There we go. Pull up, get my cursor back. Oops, there's the cursor. Y'all think this is pretty simple, but listen, it's not. Juggling all this stuff, it's not simple at all. I hadn't been doing it for the last 3 years. The only reason I'm doing it kind of slow today is because it's a new application and a new piece of equipment. Ooh, I can erase the whole thing by hitting the trash can. Okay. So here we go. I've already written it down over here on my paper, so I'm going to do it in the denominator. So I'm going to hit 69 parentheses 69 combination math probability combination of 5, and this is where I don't think, this is where I don't think they like to do parentheses. I'm going to try it, times parentheses. I think it'll do it as long as you put parentheses around it. And I'm going to hit, no, better not, because it might not do it. I might hit second entry. Let's see if it'll do it. Second entry. Nope, it didn't. So I got to start over. All right, so y'all keep typing. I'm going to do 69 parentheses 69 second. I'm sorry, math probability NCR 5 time, oops, make sure you move one space over before you put your parenthesis. There we go. Times parenthesis and then 26, oops, combination math combination of 1. Now let me let y'all in on a little secret. Anytime you have a number combination 1, it's always going to be that number, so you need to write that down. 26 combination of 1 is 26. 15 combination of 1 is 15. 82 combination of 1 is 82. Enter. Okay, there's your number. I'm going to stow that. Stow, let me write that down because if you want to write it as a fraction, that's your denominator. Let's see, 338, 292,201,338. So your probability of winning the Powerball lottery is 1 over, if you buy one ticket, 1 over 292,201,338. But I'm going to stow that in alpha denominator. And if the book or the homework or the test want a decimal, it would be 1 divided by alpha D, and that's equal to 8 zeros. 8 zeros, 0.8 zeros, and 34222977813. Now, let's do something. Let's do an experiment. Let's pull up my handy dandy Excel spreadsheet. Show you how to do it on a spreadsheet also. Back a long time ago, before South Carolina had the lottery, everybody was protesting. Don't bring the lottery down here because we too ignorant. We'll spend all our paycheck on the lottery because we had video poker and everybody was spending their whole paycheck on video poker, which was crack cocaine and the cigarettes of the industry. So crack cocaine is where everybody buys crack cocaine because it's cheap. Cigarettes, cheaper than pipes and cheaper than a cigar. So everybody went. So the poker machines were the crack cocaine and the cigarettes of the gambling industry. So they brought the poker machines down to South Carolina, and boy, let me tell you, every redneck in the state went crazy over those poker machines. And the lottery came in right behind it, and everybody thought, oh my God, South Carolina's going to hell in a handbasket because we already got a problem with people spending their whole paycheck on video poker. Now we got to worry about the lottery, but the lottery is different. People don't play it like they do the crack cocaine, like they do the coin slot machines. They don't play it. They just play for fun mostly. Now I go into the store and I buy a $10 ticket, and I buy $10 worth of tickets. That's 5 tickets. $10 is 5 tickets, and I play it. I like to play it just to play it, because if you don't play it, you can't win. So I always want to be part of that crowd that could win. That's why I do it. I don't do it because I think I'm gonna win. I do it to be a part if I ever win. There's a difference. You go in there and buy $5,000. That's what I'm fixing to show you. So the combination is called combin. So you would say equals combin. So I'm going to put 1 ticket. Let's say 1 ticket. 2 tickets. No, 5 tickets. 10 tickets. 100 tickets. 500 tickets. 1,000 tickets. 10,000 tickets. 100,000 tickets. 150,000 tickets. Oh, wrong. I suck. 150,000 tickets. Damn it. Hold on a minute. 150,000 tickets. To 500,000 tickets. 1 million tickets. 5 million tickets. Let's make it 2 million or 1.5 million. So we know we've got n is equal to 69. We know on that second part that r is 5. And on the second part, n is equal to 26. And r is equal to 1. So we actually could calculate. Let's calculate the 2 right here and use that in the, so you would type in equals, and then you would type in combin, C-O-M-B-I-N, parentheses, 69, comma, 5. Close parentheses and enter. And then I should get 26 here. Well, I'll just copy it down. Oh, 1. Is it 1? Let me check. Equals combin. I thought it was 26. Parentheses 26, comma 1. It is 1. I'm sorry. No, it's 26. I thought it was 26. Okay, now I'm going to now take 1 and divide it by parentheses this number, locked, F4. That's a, I think that's alternate F4. Nope. I always get it messed up. Hold on just a second. Divided by C, divided by this. Let's go with control F4. Nope. Must be function F4. I'm talking to myself. Just be patient. I'll function F4. There we go. Times 26 function F4. That locks it, if anybody was wondering. And enter. And we'll change this to, so y'all can read it. Y'all don't have to write this down. This is just for your information. So I'm going to format numbers. We're going to run it to 10 digits. And copy down. So, who's smarter? Or let's just make it 2 digits. Who's smarter? Guy that buys 1 ticket or a guy that buys 150 or 15 or 1.5 million tickets? Y'all supposed to answer that.
Probably the guy that buys 1
ticket, because he's got just the same. He's got the same chance as somebody buying 1 million or 1.5 million. Okay. So remember that. If you want to do permutation, it's permute. P-E-R-M-U-T. Permute. So write those 2 down in case you're if you're an Excel person. Combin and permute. There's combin and permute. So when you use permute, well, you use permute. If combination is no order, then what do you think permute is?
Order matters.
Order matters. So we're going to go up, and I'm going to, there is the formula for permutation. Permutation. That is the formula for permutation. Of course, you don't need it for my test, but you might need to know the formula for a standardized test. So make sure you know the formula. And order, you put a green circle around order instead of a red X. You put a green circle around order and put a check mark, because that means you got to have order. The type questions you will see on this one is trifecta / board members. What the heck is a trifecta? Can anybody that knows any gambling background, that got a gambling background, what is a trifecta? In a horse race, is first, second, and what?
Third.
Place. And next is a test question and a standardized test question. There we go. Write it down, because that is a test question. And then I want you to put it in your calculator and see if you come up with the same number. On how many ways can horses in a 10-horse race finish first, second, and third? That's called a trifecta. When you're trying to find out how many different ways someone or something can place first, second, or third, that is called a trifecta. Why would you want to know that? Well, you take $720 and you bet $1 on each one of those trifectas, and based on the odds against winning, you're going to win some money. Kind of like betting on red are you going to win a lot of money? No, because the probability is high that you're going to hit red because it's 0.5. So there's a high probability that you're going to win if you bet $720. So the chances are you're not going to win very much. Be lucky if you get your money back. So 10, permutation 3. Take your handy dandy calculator. 10, math, probability, permutation 3. I think they got 720. 720 different ways that those 10 horses can come in first, second, and third. 720 different arrangements. Now, the good thing about that is if you bet $1 on each of those 720 arrangements, and a couple of those arrangements was included the losers, and the losers actually won, then you'd win a lot of money. But again, what's the probability of the loser horses actually winning? Very low. So, let's say the first 4 horses trip over each other and have a wreck, then you could win some money. Or lightning strikes and knocks 3 of them dead. Then, yeah, the first 3. Then, yeah, you could win some money. And that's how you do. Why board members? Board members are officers. President, vice president, treasurer, secretary. That would be 4 offices. What's that? Well, somebody had a question. That's it. That's 5.5. That's all. I've done all the questions. Winning the lottery, flags. I even gave you an extra couple. The permutations, that's with the flags. That's the combination. Trifecta, that's a permutation. And factorials. Oh my gosh. Guess what that means? I don't have a test. So let me get out of this. That means that Tuesday is question day. And pretty much, if you don't have questions, we're going to go into new material. So let me pull up the handy dandy assignment. We are in 12012. Course tools, assignment manager. Today, let's see, I need to bring in let's see if I got a test in here yet. Show by. There it is, Unit 2 test, Chapter 4 and 5. Settings for class. Today is the 23rd. Today is the 23rd, and we will give you 5 days. 23rd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll give you to that Monday. 3 times. It's a 50-minute test, but you have 90 minutes. And if you move out of the test, it will mess you up. Now, I told you that I would give y'all, let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this or not. Change your learning aid state for this summit. Please edit actions drop down on the homework test. I don't know if I can do that or not. I'll have to see if I can do that. And save and assign. So now that means that the homework will shut off. Chapter, change dates. That's going to be 4.1, 4.2, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.5. The next time we meet will be, here's the 23rd, so the 25th. Now everybody knows when the test is done and when the homework is done. Now let's look at the test. So here we go. Assignment manager, go back over that. Test. And Unit 2 test. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Unit 2 test. Preview. What should you do if you're out of class for a while? Or a temper tantrum? If in a certain lottery, all right, get ready to do this question. An urn contains numbers from 1 to 25. From this urn, 4 balls are chosen. For a $1 bet, see, this is a good question. For a $1 bet, a player chooses one set for 4 numbers. To win, all 4 numbers must match those from the urn. The order does not what?
Matter.
Does not matter. All right, go to it. Give you a second to do it. Give you a few seconds. Shouldn't take you long with your calculator. Oh, Bill, bye. Oh, looks like it's gonna rain and then the sun comes out. Okay, so this one, let's see if I can change my pen to black. This thing has two pens. How does it have two pens? I only got one stylus. And why isn't, I'll just pick this pen. There. So you would set this one up. 1 over. We only have 4 balls, right? So that'd be 25 combination 4. Somebody crank that out for me and tell me what the denominator is. Just don't tell me millions or billions or whatever. Just raffle them off. What are they?
It's 12,650.
12,650.
Yes, sir.
Everybody else agree? 12,650.
Yes.
Yes.
And somebody give me 4 digits.
It's gonna be 7 point. Yeah, it's gonna be 4 zeros and then an 8 if you round.
I know I'm a geek, but I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna send these to my boss. She wanted to know how it was working. I know I'm a geek. Okay. Next question. Okay, it says use scientific notation. Okay, what did scientific notation tell us? I always want to call you Zane. Is it Zane or Yates? I always want to call you Zane. Mr. Yates, what does it come out to be? 8 point what, or what point times 10 to the what?
Wouldn't it be the 5th?
What?
Would it be the 5th?
Okay, I don't know the numbers. That's why I asked Mr. Yates. He had the numbers.
Yeah, that's gonna be 7.91 times 10 to the negative 5th.
Shift 8, 10, shift up to the negative 5th. Now make a note of what I just said. You don't put an X in your homework or your test right there. You don't put an X. Shift 8. That is the ampersand. Ain't that or the asterisk? What's the, yeah, asterisk. 10, shift up, negative 5. If you put an X there, it's going to mark it wrong. Watch this. This is a trick I learned in the war. Check answer. Look at there. I think I got it right. 100%. Do not put an X there. Next. Why does Hubert not entertain, trying to find, where is my, oh, this is transparency. I can't add on transparency, so I have to clear it. Why does Hubert not give points at the end of the semester? Because he wants me to fail and live in a ditch. I will take that as an answer. But the answer is he awards me bonus questions like these on each test, and he drops the lowest 2 grades on each unit test. So I don't ask me for points at the end of the semester. That's not supposed to be on there. I thought I took those off. Okay, I just picked the most reasonable one. That's not supposed to be on there. I thought I went and took it off. Okay, here's a test question. All right, do that one. I'm gonna let y'all do this one. It's 6:23. I'm gonna let y'all have a minute or two to do that one. Give y'all one more minute. I said 6:23. That's the date, dummy. Okay, now remember what I told you about this question. They give you these numbers and you would have to type those. I'm going to do it on the Excel spreadsheet. So, or we could do it on, oh, we can't do it on the Excel spreadsheet because I got to check on that. So take your handy dandy calculator out and we're going to have to punch those numbers in. So here we go. Stat. Edit 024466 024466 and then go over to the next column. 5.6, 5.7, 4.5, 3.7, 2.2, and 2.4. Go to Stat, go to Calculate, go to Linear Regression, and Calculate. Okay, so I'm going to write this down so I don't have to go back and forth. Y is equal to negative 0.6096097561x plus 6.23902439. I'm writing everything down in case I have to round to a certain digit. And R is equal to negative 0.9308470906. Now let's draw it and let's see what it looks like. And we'll go ahead and put the trace line in there so we can see what it looks like. So I'm going to go to second. Y is equal. I'm going to hit enter for number 1. And I'm going to hit enter for on. And it's already set. It's already defaulted to L1 and L2. And it's defaulted to scatter plots. All you got to hit is graph. You might not be able to see it. And that's not our line. You might not be able to see it. So hit stat. I'm sorry, hit zoom. Sorry, stat 9. There is your, ignore that line. There is your plot, your plotted points. Now I'm going to put in the regression curve. How did it do that? I didn't type that in. That's not the same one. Okay. So negative, I don't know where that came from. Negative 0.6061. Now it's raining, storming. 6061x. That's not the right. I gotta quit using the keyboard because every time I use the keyboard, it messes up. Let me just use the mouse. Negative 0.6061x plus 6.2390. 6.2390 and graph. There is your line. I don't know about y'all, but it's pouring here. Hope my internet don't go out. All right, so that's everything I want you to do, but let's see what they want you to do. Go ahead and take a look. You got 2 apart, 2 close, and 2 really close. So let's look for that. You know it's a negative slope. Looks like B. There appears to be a linear negative relationship. Round to 3 decimal places. Negative, I hope it accepts my negative, 0.606 x plus 6.239. And looks like, let's look back at our drawing. It hits that 4th point and almost hits the 5th point. So it looks like B again. How do I know it's not A?
It's positive.
Positive. So I'm going to say it's B. So far, so good. Is that it? Is that all they asked? Yeah. That's the kind of questions I like to put on a test because short and sweet, and it tests you to make sure you can use the technology and make sure you can do a scatter plot. See, I don't try to trick you on these tests. I don't try to get you to rewrite the statistics book. I just asked you what we went over. 0, you get nada, nothing. And a linear correlation between variables is negative. What can be said about the regression line? It's negative too. Same thing with the slope. And that's not supposed to be on there, but it's December, it's April. That's not supposed to be on there. But I'll give y'all some points. The only one with the United States. One of my online students put Air Force. She's going to fail. A golf ball is selected at random from a golf bag. This is the Marlboro bag, not Marlboro, marble bag. So we're going to take our handy dandy stylus and we're going to draw a bag. And we've got, oh, I hate when they do this, 8 A's, 7 B's, and 9 C's. Now, of course, first thing you got to have is a denominator. What's the denominator? 9 and 8, 17, and 17 is 24, right? Somebody check my math. So you know 24 is the denominator. It says the probability that the golf ball is not what?
Type A.
Not type A. When you see not in front of something, that means complement. This stylus looks like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Whenever I touch the wall, the end of it turns red like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, so how many are A's out of 24?
8.
8. So how many are not A's?
16.
16. So your answer is 16 over 24, which is what? 4 will go into 16. 2/3. Somebody check my math. Which is equal to 0.67, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Question, right, complaint. Next. As soon as I get my cursor. That's the aggravating part in the classroom too, getting your cursor back. Does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with your final exam? No way, no how. I don't do anything like that. Because then I'd have to go out that, then that's extra work. That's busy work. Players in sports are said to have hot streaks and cold streaks. For example, a batter in a baseball game might be considered to be in a slump or a cold streak, if that batter has made 10 outs in 10 consecutive at-bats. He sucks. Suppose the hitter successfully reaches base 38% of the time and comes to the plate, boom. Well, that 10 is going to be, that 10 right there is going to be how many times? And that is going to be a probability. P, hitter makes 10 consecutive outs. Well, what would that be? Y'all did this in your homework. What would that be? That'd be 10 to the 0.38 or 0.38 to the 10th power? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, I'm sorry, 0.62. Let's see. Hold on. Find. Okay, yes, 0.62 to the 10th power. That's a compliment. Sorry. So somebody take 0.62 and raise that to the 10th power and tell me what you get.
I got 0.000839.
Okay, so that's 4. Oh, 839. Thank you. Okay. The probability of a cold streak, well, that is below 5 cents. And remember what I told you? I told you that it's going to ask you, and all throughout probability, they're going to ask you questions about is something unusual or not. This is normal, and this is 95%, right? By the empirical rule. And this is 2.5%, and this is 2.5%, which is unusual. And 2.5% and 2.5% is equal to what? 5%, which is equal to 0.05, which I like to call the nickel rule. If your probability is less than 0.05, then it's unusual. If your probability is more than 0.05, then it's normal or not unusual. Now, I think I mentioned that in class. I hope I did. I think I mentioned it when we did the empirical rule. So what is 0.00839? Is that equal to 5 cents or more than 5 cents?
It's less.
Less. So the probability of a cold streak is unusual. Well, let's see, is less than. I'm trying to get my cursor back. Is less than 0.05. So cold streaks are unusual. If repeated was 1,000 times, that would be 1, 2, 3, 8 bats. Or 8, whatever. And check answer. Look there. Now, for that person that sent that question today or yesterday, that's the homework question. I just went over a homework question, and I don't like. Let me ask y'all something. On my board, I can't hardly see those numbers from. I'm standing about 15 feet from the board, but I can see them on my computer. So y'all should be able to see those numbers on the on your computer, right?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So next question. I told y'all this question would be on there. Which ones are good probability models? Well, I know no D's not.
Hubert, give us 1 second. It's lagging.
Okay. Well, it's nothing in my house because I don't have anything on at my house. And plus, we just had a thunderstorm or a little thunder bumper. So, tell me when it comes up. Is it up?
Just came up for me.
Golly. Is it lagging everybody else?
Mine wasn't really lagging.
Not
Okay,
too
it must be
much.
must be Country Meadows, Mr. Yates.
Well, I'm at my grandpa's today, so that may
Okay.
be it.
Where's your grandpa's?
He lives near Walmart on 28.
Oh, L.A. You in L.A., man? I haven't been to that Walmart probably in 6 or 7 years, and I will not go to that Walmart.
I don't blame you.
I don't want to get shot. And I'm scared to go to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm scared they might put something in the food.
They've gotten better.
Have they? Well, that's good. And I don't go to Zaxby's because I don't know what it is. I think in order to work at Zaxby's, you have to get at least 5 out of 10 or 5 out of 5 orders wrong to work at Zaxby's. I don't know what the heck it is about Zaxby's, and this is no joke. Within a 2-week period, I was able, because I had meetings and stuff, I was able to go to within a 2-week period, I was at least able to go to each Zaxby's in Anderson. And do you know, at each Zaxby's, there was something left out of my order at each one. So I gave up on Zaxby's a long time ago.
The one in Powdersville isn't too bad. Last time I went, they got the order wrong, but they're really busy. Or it took them forever. Like, they thought we ordered a Sprite and we said sweet tea. Like, I don't know where they got Sprite.
Well, I ordered Diet Coke with no ice because I want to make sure, one, I'm drinking the Diet Coke and it don't have any ice in it, and I don't want to buy $3 worth of ice. And they fill the damn thing up, and you only get like a half a cup of drink. So I order my Diet Coke with no ice, and half the time they just do Coke. I mean, it's real sad. It's real sad. And these are the people that want $15 an hour. No.
Just go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's about the only place you can go. Chick-fil-A, Target, and QT. Those all three have something in common. They hire people that's got at least some good sense.
Thank you.
All
I used
right.
to work at Target.
Target, I wouldn't mind working at Target. When I was back in the day, I worked at Walmart, and it was a good place to work. I probably would like to work at Target now. I would not work at Walmart. No way in Hades. All right, so which one? Somebody find the other one. I know D is, what's the other one? Let's see, that's going to be 2, 6. D and E are not. So A, B, C, and F. Does that sound good? A, B, C, and F. Let's check it. Yep. So what's wrong with D?
It has the negative.
It has the negative. And what's wrong with E?
It
What's
does not
3,
equal up.
6 plus 2, 6? It's 5, 6. It doesn't equal 6, 6. It's got to equal to 1. We went over 2 of those in class. I remember going over 2 of those homework questions. This is the most missed bonus question. I don't understand how people can miss this question, but they do. If you miss a question on a test and you believe it is correct, what should you do? I like C myself. That's what y'all do. Send several emails to Hubert with the last one saying, hello. It's B. I got one online student that had a question. They were doing questions on completing the square, and the answers were in decimals, and they wrote them in radical form, which is fine. She sent me a text message and said, Hubert, can we team and go over my test, because I think there's some questions that I got right. She ended up going from like a 69 to an 85 because there was like 3 or 4 questions that were right. And there's one student that sent me like 5 emails, and she's getting irritated because I haven't replied to her emails. In probability, a blank is a process that can be repeated in which the results are uncertain. That's a dang old experiment, ain't it?
Easy.
Because you don't know what's going to happen in an experiment. If you complete assignments on here, if you have incomplete assignments and Hubert puts a 0 in for your grade, what does that 0 do to your grade? This is for the student at the end of the semester. I didn't know a 0 would make my grade go down. Yeah, whatever. Toward the end of the unit. A lottery exists where balls numbered 1 through 23 is placed in an urn. To win, you must match the 5 ball in the correct what?
Order.
Order.
Order, not a combination. This is a what?
Permutation.
A permutation. 5. 23, permutation, 5. Now, it does not say how to type in your answer. So this one is open. I don't know how they want the answer. Maybe they got 3 different answers. Somebody give me the number of possible outcomes. Not asking you to win. Just asking for the possible outcomes. You don't need to put this in you just need the big number for the denominator. So somebody give me the big number for the denominator. That would be 23 permutation 5.
I got 4037880.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Okay. Now notice this question. To win, you must match the 5 balls chosen in the correct order. Doesn't say you have to buy a ticket. How many possible outcomes? That's different from the probability. Probability is you buy a ticket. This is possible outcomes. So we should get that right now that we caught that. Make a note because this is a standardized test question versus that first question we did where you buy a ticket. So you need to make a note of those 2 questions. Determine whether the scatter plot indicates blah, 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 blah. What kind of correlation do we have here?
Positive.
Positive.
Okay, so it's either C or D. I think it's
D.
delta.
D.
And it's a positive correlation because it's left to right up. I told y'all I wasn't going to try to trick y'all. A golf ball is selected from a golf bag. If the golf ball contains 2 black balls, the golf bag, 2 black balls, 6 orange balls, 9 yellow balls, that's 9, 15, 17. So the denominator is 17, right? I wish I had a touch screen. I could just use a stylus on the touch screen. I'm using my mouse. Just don't make fun of my writing because I'm using the mouse and I can't write with a mouse. Okay. The golf ball is black, or what does that word mean?
Add.
Add. Black. How many black?
2.
How many orange?
6.
And no overlap. And you only pick one, right? A golf ball is selected. So that's 8 out of 17. What does the directions say about your answer? What do they want? 3 decimal places. Somebody give me 3 decimal places.
0.471.
Man, you should feel good about yourself. I feel like I'm back in the classroom. 0.471. Except for my cat chasing the dot on the wall. He keeps trying to jump up and catch it. Like 3 feet. It's up till about my hip, so it's about 3 feet up. He keeps trying to chase it. Next. Let me clear this. Will the following variables have a positive correlation, a negative correlation, or no correlation? IQ
Positive.
and annual salary. I actually had a student one time told me that this would be a negative correlation. As your IQ goes up, you should have more of an annual salary. Why? Because you're able to hold more degrees. You're able to take more classes. You're able to take more math and science. And I'm sorry, an aeronautical engineer is going to make more money than a receptionist at Holiday Inn. And I don't see too many people that make millions and millions of dollars in the Forbes $1 Million Club and above that can't spell mom backwards. Think about it. Some of your millionaires, they're not stupid. Zuckerberg, like him or hate him, he's not stupid. Bill Gates is not stupid. Heck, I'm just pouring like sheets of dadgum rain. It's coming your way, Mr. Yates.
Oh yeah, it already passed by once.
Oh, okay. Well, it's coming again. Because I'm a little bit west of you. Oh, you know where I'm at. Next. 20, 10, 50, 20. It's the only one that equals what?
100.
That's the second most missed bonus question that I get from students. They pick 30, 30, 30. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, he drops the what? He takes the highest and drops the lowest. If you look at your overall grade one day and it has decreased, what has happened? A 0 has been placed for a missing assignment. Determine if the following statement is true or false. Probability is a measure of likelihood of a random phenomenon or chance of behavior.
True.
True.
Remember, I told you that it was placing a number from 0 to 1 on a prediction based on logic, experience, and mathematics, which means data. What is the probability of an event that is impossible? Remember this, I told you this. Birth control. Suppose that probability is approximated to be 0. Does this mean that an event is impossible?
No.
No.
No. 0 means impossible. Does it mean that it can't happen? No. Remember, probability stays away from words that puts your feet in cement. Okay? Impossible is a word that puts your feet in cement. Perfect is a word that puts your feet in cement. Do not use words like that because it holds you down. A bag of 100 tulip bulbs purchased from a nursery contains 25 red, 35 yellow, and 40 purple. So that means that your denominator is what? Let's see, that'd be what, 60, 100. What is the probability that a randomly selected bulb is red? It'd be 0.25, right? Because there's 100 bulbs. Purple, 0.40. Select the correct choices and fill in the answer. If 100 bulbs were sampled with replacement, one would expect, wait a minute, select the correct choice below, fill in the answer boxes. 25 would be red, and about 40 would be purple. Why do I not pick exactly? Because that puts your feet in cement. Would you bet that a card would come up, would be red, or would be exactly 2? What would you bet on? Red or exactly 2? Red if you wanted to win. Exactly 2, it goes up higher. It makes the probability go up to be lower. Don't use the word exact. Perfect. Impossible. Although covered in his handouts, first day of class, what is the best way to communicate with Hubert? Now it's Teams. I'm going to have to change that. But cell phone was it. Teams and cell phone. In your grade book, to find your final grade after you've completed, well, you don't have to hit this anymore because people couldn't figure it out. So MyLabs Plus made it default. So when you pull up your grade book, it automatically shows your what? Overall grade.
Overall.
Because people couldn't figure out how to find it. And let's see what we made. One unanswered question. Where's my unanswered question? Oh, we didn't answer that one. What was the answer to that one?
That was
Not a. What was it? 0.67.
0.667.
0.667. There we go. Now let's submit the test. Now it took me 45 minutes to do that test, and I explained each one and gave y'all time to do it. So y'all should be able to do it because some of those questions were just sentence questions. I made 100.
Good job,
I feel
Hubert.
good about myself. Who's got questions?
I'm good. That was a good review.
That was a good review. Let me make this. How do I make this thing? I'm trying to get y'all back up where I can see y'all. Hold on. Teams. There we go. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit. I'm going to hit. Okay. Recording. It should be recording. I think the online class, they should be taking their test. I will extend theirs. It might extend theirs an extra day or two because some of those may have been using my examples, my videos, so I might extend. But I'm going to stop with the presentation and I'm going to turn off the recording so I can take the roll. And I've got where y'all are enabled